Good evening. So today is Tuesday, July 23rd. This is after the market is closed. Wanted to review the write-up from this morning and look at how well that played out, um, and go over, take a quick look at the X-ray, and then also wanted to touch on some of the things that I said in the room today, just kind of based on some of the stuff people have been asking me, so that I can kind of explain that with a live chart. Maybe that'll help understand. Some of the things I say in the room may seem kind of cryptic, and that's not the intention. The intention is not to say things like, "Hey, market's going higher." Um, I'd rather provide a reason why I think the market's going to go higher, and then people can make their own decision on if they want to trade that or not. But anyway, if we look at this is a write up from this morning, and going in today, what I said was, after a volatile day yesterday, we were looking to see if the indexes will continue their move higher. Although the results were bullish with a gain of 60 points on ES, it was not a straight line up. It was a day similar to this. We made new highs, made new lows, new highs again, then new lows again. Um, it just wasn't a super strong day. So I mentioned that. Where's my mouse? Uh, Mentioned that again here after taking out the Friday's high in the morning, made new highs, new lows, etc. In market profile terms, this is a neutral day, implying there is not a strong directional move in either direction. So that was my preparation for this morning, telling myself, hey, just don't get long and just wait all day. And um, it's not really the environment for swing trades. Um, so the trading plan for today, uh, starting out with about 30 points of range in the overnight session, we're positioned to open up mostly unchanged from yesterday. We expect a similar day as yesterday with higher volatility in ranges and higher value. Now, when I say higher volatility in ranges, I don't mean from the previous day. I mean from the sample of previous days. That overall, based on the recent averages, their ranges and volatility are going to be higher. And we take a look higher value. If you look at this chart, this is a market profile chart. This profile is Friday, Monday. This is the overnight, uh, and then this was today's session. The purple area is the value. That's where 70% of the trade occurred based on um, time spent at those prices. And so I was looking for higher value for um, and for also one time framing up. And let's see what else was said here. It wasn't a solid bid, so difficult to draw a line in the sand for buyers. We expect 72 to hold if strong buyers are present. Basically, uh, 17 was kind of technically the line in the sand. It was not really where I wanted it to be, but based on the volatility, that's really about the clearest area where I could say this scenario is not going to work out. We could see buyers step in higher, 55.88, the overnight low, which we have. This is '05, that level that came into play yesterday. It ended up coming into play again today, and we see why. We'll see why here in a minute. Then we have 88, which is the overnight low, and then 72 was that line in the sand that I was looking for buyers where they need to step in for scenario one to stay in play. Actually ended up being some support here in the overnight, but that's another story. Our main target for a move higher is 55.33, which is we didn't quite get there. We got within a couple points, and the potential for 56.45 with a lot of strength, which did not happen. Scenario two won't really cover that because it just didn't come into play today. Um, Now, see, we can look at the GEX ray real quick, and we can also look at see if I can get both of these on here. Okay, so here's the GEX ray. Here's my messages in the room. But some of these are going to be part of conversation, not going to make any sense. But we can see the GEX ray opened up. Uh, and one of the first things I said, one of the first things I look at is GEX ray. And we have good ranges on the GEX ray, bullish ranges so far. And so looking at this, I look where the put wall comes in and the call wall. The put wall came in around the 75 area, which was where I was looking for ultimately for support for scenario one. Then we had the call wall come in around 37 or something, which was lined up with this target that I had, the Gex flip as well. We had a little bit, we could see some premium here at this 30, about the 30 area. So we had a pretty similar amount of Gex on both of those strikes, which we could see that was actually early morning resistance there. But then looking at some of the comments in the room, like I said, some of this stuff isn't going to make a lot of sense. Delta moving higher. My main concern, there was no bid yesterday. So weak high on ES, that was around 840. Let's see, we can take a look at a time chart here. So around 840, that'd be central. So that'd be about 940 Eastern. We had this weak high on, from the overnight. And, weak high is essentially saying it looks like retail is trading this level. We have retail coming in and selling that reference, that exact level. And I look for that to be taken out. When I say weak high, when I see weak high, I'm looking for somewhere to get long. And, this area was around this 12 area to clean up that high. And so we finally do end up cleaning up that high, making a run up to about 25. Let's see. NQ got the overnight. NetGex is still high, so still bullish. All breath is negative, which was a little bit of an oddity, but I was gone the last 2 weeks, but some of the guys saying that they saw a lot of that while I was gone. So I took a short scalp on 16, took half off on the push, just leaving the last one in case we get some downside. Only made 5 points on that trade. It wasn't really part of the plan, but it was, there was a setup based on the level there from yesterday and also the order flow that I saw, the footprint. All right, so we're talking about some other things there. Pretty positive Gex flow. Breath is a little weird. Saw lots of spoofing in the book. The book was thin. A wall rolling much higher on ES as NetGex drops. So that was at 10 o'clock. So in this area. So the weak high, not sure where the weak high was. I should be putting that price in there. So we saw the wall roll higher at 10. That's where it rolled up to about 37 or so. We have a poor high. That was at 10 o'clock. So that's where we had this double top, had a poor high. Poor high, very similar to a weak high. Looking for somewhere to get long, to get back to that level, and then potentially hold for a larger move. All right, we started seeing breath turn up. Russell went trend up. Talking about book map. We're currently one time framing up on all three major indexes. I like along at 16 with a stop below the open and B's low around 13. I think it's risky, but it's worth the risk. So that's right here. Yeah, that's right here. I ended up taking that long and it just kind of hung out, just really couldn't get a bounce. Not getting much of a bounce here. Maybe it works, but we might get a deeper pullback first. So I ended up taking that trade off and then getting back long again around 12. And because we had the put wall on the X-ray, that kept me in that trade. In hindsight, I should have. It's really hard to highlight with that legend, but this is where we had the bounce there at the put wall. In hindsight, I really should have just waited for that put wall setup as opposed to getting in and leaving that as an area to put my stop below. But I don't always do what I should. I think it's risky, but it's worth the risk. Let's see. But just talking through that, not even buying the open. And I'd gotten on a call at that point, so wasn't really paying that much attention. The only thing really came back in here at 12, which would have been 1, and saying we have a poor low. So I was looking at this area, we had a poor low on ES. This the exact opposite, right? So We have a poor low, looking for the opportunity to trade back into that low. On a rise up, on a pullback to mid, VWAP, or something of that nature. Very poor low. We just kept bouncing on that level. Even though that put wall is there, the poorer that level gets, the more likely it is to be taken out. The call wall is fading. That's at 1240. So it would have been 1340 my time. That's where we see this call wall fading here. So taking off the target at 34. And then we eventually, late day, get that spike. We take out that poor low, take out the put wall, and ended up closing lower on the day. That's pretty much it. That's a quick review on the X-ray, on some of the commentary in the room, and then also on the write-up. So I hope that's helpful. Hope everyone had a good day trading, and we'll see you all in the morning.